Hi guys, so it's Sunday. I realised this morning I haven't actually been on camera to talk to you all week, so I'm really sorry about that. Obviously there was lots of footage before this, so I hope you enjoyed that. So obviously there was me creating my planners, which I will talk about in a minute for you, and then me packaging an order, as well as lots of little cat bits because, you know, who doesn't love the cats? So when I realised I hadn't spoken too much, I was like, well, there's not a huge amount to talk to you about. Sorry, can you tell I've just had a shower? I'm gonna flick it behind my head. So I thought what I would do is do a bit of a Q&A. So I asked for some questions on Instagram, got a few through, so we're gonna do those as well. So I just wanted to give a quick catch up with you now of what I've been doing this week. So I started planning. That's a bit of a lie. I've been planning my planners for a while and I kind of knew what I wanted, but it was how to put it on physical form. And I did a lot of research into what other people used and gave Canva a go, and actually I was really happy with the process and how I managed to get them to work. So if you haven't seen them, I will grab them for you now. Actually, I thought I had them out and I don't. Typical, they're exactly where I thought they were, but I didn't look there. So I did the week in the life. So sorry, this page is a bit screwed now, but you've got obviously the days of the week, your priorities on what's urgent, self-care for the, you know, sort of the focus for the week, and then a note section. So that's the weekly planner. And then I have the daily planner. Sorry, I've ripped this page a bit since I used it. So I've got obviously a meal plan for the day, today's good thing, and a little note section. Then got today's self-care activity, little habit tracker, and things to do tomorrow. Today's goal, so like the number one thing that you want to get done. Things that you must do and things that you want to try and get done as well. So those are my planners. I did print them off, all attached as a little flippy book. Ooh, very proud of myself for that. Still trying to get used to the cutting. Not 100% positive on it, which is why they went up on my Etsy shop as pre-order. So then depending on how popular they were, I was either going to make them, and I would make them better than this one, or I was going to get them made. At the moment, I haven't had any orders yet, so I might put them on hold for a bit after this weekend, we'll see. Haven't quite decided. Then obviously this weekend, it's Black Friday weekend, Cyber weekend, whichever way you want to call it. Now, it hasn't been as popular as I wanted. I have had one order, which obviously you saw me print, package and all the rest of it earlier in this video. That's going off to the post box today, so that will be sent tomorrow. Now, the reason I say should, postage is a bit of a funny thing at the moment. You could send 2 parcels to like 2 different addresses on the same street, same postage method, and they could take completely different times. So I have got last order dates in my store, but I'm not doing a guarantee before Christmas delivery. I will guarantee that I will post them ASAP, but I cannot guarantee how long the postage will take to get them to you, so they may arrive slightly after Christmas. I'm hoping they won't. And on top of that, obviously, all my digital products, you can buy them whenever and print them off yourself. And what I will probably try to do is anyone who tells me they haven't received their order in time, I will probably offer a digital copy that I can send to them, so at least then they can give them a IOU one print. I don't know, that's an option. So let me know what you think about that. But as I said, because I hadn't spoken to you, I decided to do a bit of a Q&A. So let's jump into it. Just gonna read the questions on my screen, which is just here. So I apologise for the fact that I keep looking that way. So, what did you do before you started Laura's Vintage Life? So brief history, I spent a lot of time working at a museum and I did visitor services and group bookings. And then I moved into Cath Kidston and I worked there for just over 2 years. And then at the beginning of COVID, they went bust. And so I had lots of free time. And as I've said before, I've always crafted, always doodled, planned, all of those sorts of things. So it kind of gave me the time to do it more. And as I said before, I had in my year sort of goals to open an Etsy store and have 20 products on it, and I now have nearly 200, so I'm not going to moan about that one. Oh, next question. What made you take the plunge and start your business and sell online? Same as a lot of people. COVID and lockdown. Had no job. Spent a lot of time job hunting. Didn't really get many interviews. And those interviews I got, I didn't get the job for. So I had a lot of free time and thought that, you know what, if not now, when? If I'm not going to do it now, when I've got all this time on my hands, when am I going to do it? So that's why I did it. I bit the bullet, took the plunge and went, sod it, now. Now is when I'm going to do it. And so I have. So there you go. That is the answer to that one. And for that, I'm going to treat myself to a bit of coffee. Oh, harder than I thought. Next question. What helps you work? Lots of coffee. No, it isn't really. I do like my coffee though. Planning. I literally plan everything. So everything I need to do for the day, everything I need to do for the week. I think it definitely helps having a separate workspace for it as well. I think that means that it's easier for me to just dive in and get on with what I need to do rather than putting it off, because I don't have that excuse. I have this big space here to work on. I have this lovely room, you know, the sofa, I can sit and chill on there. I've got a TV now. There is no excuse for me not to just get my arse in gear and get on with it. It is a bit more difficult working a full-time job, and for the last few weeks what I've tried to do is have one day which is a pure chill day, which is normally the Saturday, and then the Sunday, which is half chill, half work. Sorry, I keep rocking the screen. Where, like today, I'm working on my vlog. I've done some order prints. Rephrase that. I've printed some orders and got them ready for posting, which I'll pop out to the post box after this, probably. I'm working on my podcast, and Sundays is also the day I try to plan all my Instagram posts for the next week. So there you go. That's my plans. And that's what helps me work. So, best thing about your job? Oh. So I was asked this question earlier in the month when we did the eHearts Market. And I was like, oh, you know, I love being my own boss and having control, and I do. But one thing I really realised over that weekend is that I love the community, the support, everything else. Like, the other day I thought, right, I want to get an iPad. What sort of iPad do I need for my needs? So I put a message on my Instagram, and I put a message on a couple of Discords that I'm members of, and the amount of people that got back to me with their honest opinions over what they used, how they used it, why they thought it was good or bad, was brilliant. And that's just one example. It's like when I looked at this week getting my planners printed, I sent out a couple of messages about, you know, who do you use, what are your recommendations, and they were brilliant. And that's something that I don't think every community has. I mean, there are some out there who'll be like, no, it's mine. I'm not sharing what I've done or how I've done it with you. But I think I've been very lucky that I've fallen into a community of sharers and helpers and supporters. It is very much a supportive community. It isn't, it's, as I said before, it's that Gemma Illustrates phrase of community over competition, and it's that community that helps us build rather than competing against each other. So like I said, that is the community that I think is the best part about my job. There you go. Music. If so, who? So I'm a bit of an old school person, so when it comes to music, my favourite ever song is Anything I Do by Bryan Adams. I'm sorry, I'm a cheesy person. Closely followed by Affirmation by Savage Garden and Embarrassment by Madness. So there you go, that's a little bit of an insight into my brain and how it works. And obviously one of my favourite songs, which I call my anthem, was I Got a Big Butt and I Like My Big Butt. And so my anthem is Fat Bottom Girls by Queen. And Queen are definitely one of my all-time favourite bands. But obviously, because I like my vintage, I also really like a lot of acts from the 50s and 60s and, you know, and the 40s. Like, obviously, I like Vera Lynn and Gracie Fields and Glenn Miller, and I could just go on when it comes to all of those. I love, obviously, the Rat Pack and all of their music. Don't lynch me when I say this, but I do like Cliff Richard's early music. Obviously, Elvis, Johnny Cash. I mean, the Dreamboats and Petticoats albums are great because they give me a mix of everything I like. I go on forever. I mean, like, I like Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I'm going to leave it there before I, like, dribble on about a load of music, because it could go on for a long time. Hi guys, so it's Monday evening. So I had tech issues yesterday. My phone ran out of storage halfway through a question. And it took me 5 hours to clear storage on my phone because my phone wouldn't connect properly to my laptop. And I had to try various methods, including plugging in a USB to try and load it onto the USB, trying to connect it to my laptop. It was a nightmare. So I'm really sorry, but it means that this vlog is not up on Sunday night as planned. It will be up hopefully tonight. I just got these last little bits to film, which obviously I want to do for you because I don't want you to miss out on any of the questions. So the last question, which I got cut off during, how rude, was, what's the biggest hurdle you've had in your creative journey? And I can honestly say for me, it's probably been financial, in the sense that although I'd done all my research, I knew how much Etsy listings cost and all the Etsy fees and packaging, and I'd done a lot of research into how much that was going to cost, and if I went into printing, how much that was going to cost. But what I didn't take into account for was if I did all this and made no sales. So this is the first month, and today is the first day actually that Etsy have actually put money into my account. I've sold more than I have spent on Etsy this month, which is brilliant. Having now done it for a while, I will probably pare down what I have available and how much of it I keep, because I don't want it to be a huge issue and a barrier to me. And I obviously want to be able to keep my shop. I want to keep it going and running, and the best way to do that, I think, at the moment is to build it up slowly rather than going in hell-bent for leather, which I had done and obviously hasn't quite worked the way that some YouTube and bloggers and vloggers had told me it would. So don't believe everything you see online, kids. So yeah, that is what I'd say is my biggest hurdle. So that's that question done. And now I've got some quick fire questions. I kind of left them at the end. So, the person, dead or alive, that you'd like to have coffee with and a conversation with. Now, I thought about this one quite a lot because I thought, you know, there's so many people that are like, throughout history, that I'd love to meet. Like, I'd love to sit down with Churchill and find out, like, what was going through his mind most of the time. I'd love to, like, sit down with Caesar or Cleopatra and see, like, what was going on there. But having thought about it, the person I'd like to sit down with is the Queen. Partly because she's such a well-known figure, but nobody actually knows her. Her public persona is very restricted in that sense. And so I'd love to have a sit down with her and find out, like, her real opinions on things. But also, she's been a part of so much history. I mean, obviously, she was born in the 20s. She worked as an AAT during the war. She has travelled the world at different stages and decades and seen how things have changed and evolved. And yeah, just from the social perspective, such as civil rights in America and the apartheid in South Africa and, you know, things like Rwanda, she's been a bystander to it as much as a physical player in those things, and it'd be really interesting to get her take on that. So that's my answer to that question. I'd like to have coffee with the Queen. So, creative tool I couldn't live without. I think yesterday I answered that one. It's this thing, it's my phone. I literally could not do without it. I film my vlogs on it. I obviously do all my social media on it. I upload and run my Etsy from it, and I create on it. So my products are created on the Procreate Pocket, which is a mobile version of Procreate, and honestly, without that I wouldn't have been developing half of the things I've developed, and I'd probably be stuck. So there you go, that is the one tool I could not do without: my phone. How very 21st century is that? Ooh, favourite book. My favourite author is Jane Austen, and my favourite book is Sense and Sensibility. I really love the dynamics between Eleanor and Marianne and how they're kind of very similar but at the same time polar opposites of each other, and I really love their journeys that they go through. I mean, there's some great comic characters. I mean, Mrs. Jennings is brilliant. She's like the neighbour. She reminds me a little bit of Hyacinth Bouquet. That's kind of the character she is, and that's what I love. So yeah, that's my favourite book. And I think we're on to... No, that was the last question. So thank you very much for those questions. I really enjoyed doing them. The only thing I have left to share with you quickly is some Happy Mail that arrived. And I thought I'd shown you, and then realised I hadn't, so I apologise. But over the eHearts Market, I placed an order with OK Doodle, because she does this badge. Don't know if you can see that very well in that light. So okay, so it says hidden disabilities, and it's I am exempt from wearing a face mask. Now I personally am exempt, and I found it, I haven't really had many people ask me when I've been with someone else wearing a face mask, but when I'm on my own I feel very self-conscious about it. So I just thought having this little badge would just make me feel a little bit more comfortable. And so ironically, I haven't actually been out anywhere that I've needed it yet, so I will let you guys know how I found it. But within that, I also got her sticker pack, which was the anxiety sticker pack, because I suffer from depression and anxiety. So I thought they're really fun things that I could put into my bullet journal. So I've got this one, which says caution, extremely anxious. My personal favourite, which considering all my jobs in my life is brilliant, is ew, people. Ew. I've got anxious and awesome. Anxiety warrior. You are stronger than you think. Professional overthinker. And let me overthink about it. I thought they were brilliant and I needed them in my life. So now I have them and I can't wait to use them properly. So, show you how cute is the card as well. Her details on the back at the bottom there, if you wanted to check her out, and I will obviously link her below as well. But that's a lie. I was about to say that's it. The other bit of Happy Mail that arrived was a late birthday present because of post. I'd like to point out, it wasn't that they'd forgotten, it was genuinely post issues. Welcome to COVID land, where post takes forever and also can be super quick. So I got this card, which I hope you can read, from my aunt and uncle, and it came with a little chocolate bar inside as well, which was, tell you what, it was sea salt and dark chocolate and caramel, and I was a bit intrigued. You know, I've never really had sort of that savoury twist, and oh my god, it was the weirdest thing that I couldn't stop eating it. It was really nice, but really weird all at the same time. Loved it. But yeah, so what it actually says on it is, I can't even read it backwards. Yeah. She lost track of time after too many gins and the clock began to strike 10 p.m. Bollocks, Cinderella shouted as she dashed from the pub to her Uber. The bastard curfew. Can't even say it. The curfew has ruined my big night out. And look, the little character's Uber, and then she's got a face mask. I just thought that was so of the time. I love it. I'm gonna cut it off the box that it's on and frame that to go on my wall as my 2020 was going to say 2019, as my 2020 print. I think that's just brilliant. So that's it from me this week. Sorry that it's a bit late, and sorry that it's probably a bit of a weird one, in that there's a lot happening and nothing happening all at the same time. Just how I like it. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe below, and don't forget to hit that bell for the notifications of every time I post a new video. So thank you very much for hanging out with me today. It's been really fun, and hopefully I will see you next week on Sunday and not on Monday. I'm playing it positive thoughts. Have a lovely week, everybody, and I will see you again next week.